What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Adobe Photoshop Masterclass course, kicking off a brand new section, the layers section. I told you at the end of the last section this was about to kick off. We're doing an introduction to the layers, and probably around 3 to 4 episodes into this particular section, stuff really starts getting real, and it doesn't stop. So without further ado, let's give a brief walkthrough and an introduction to layers. Now, we've already had our introduction to layers, but let me just do a little bit more of a articulated introduction, right? So these are the layers down here. Essentially, this is the layer tab. You notice it's part of the layer, channels, and paths tab. This sort of works with the actual layers, right? So pretty much you have a whole bunch of different ones right here, and let's start with one, and they'll pretty much stack up as you build your project, and your project gets more sort of different, well, layers to it, right? Layers are also totally customizable. You can click them, you can double click them, which will enable you to, start titling them stuff. As we noticed, we did this change up here with the pen tool and the rotoscope tool, and actually, or not the rotoscope tool, the good old quick select tool. So we can actually just double click and actually just title this one quick select. So we've actually defined the two different tools that were used to do that. And then of course you've got your your text layers, which are clearly defined by the the text right there. And pretty much this right here is your different types of layers. And you also got locks on the layers as well. So we know that, for example, when we go up here to File and we go to New, right, which will pop up our new creation window, and we create a brand new file, it's usually going to have that background by default on lock. And we know that, a lot of the projects in the past, we've clicked that, we've unlocked it, which means that there's not this bottom layer right here. And of course, if we make a brand new layer on top of this, it's got this checkered pattern, so we know that is a transparent layer. But enough of that. We're going to get into actual layer types coming up, but brief introduction to layers. Basically, anything you guys create will start stacking up right down here. You guys will obviously start with one layer, and, you'll put one more on there, you'll put another. I've got projects with hundreds of layers, and at that point, I'll be honest, you might want to start cutting some off because the lag definitely, catches up to you. But overall, that right there is a brief introduction to layers. They stack up over here on the side. Let's actually go ahead and have a look at staying organized with some of the other options that we got down here. We'll be back with layer folders and staying organized coming up next.